Hi there, happy Cabernet Sauvignon Day, everybody. To celebrate that, today I'm looking at Voyager Estate's Cabernet Sauvignon. It's the 2017 vintage of this, and Voyager Estate are one of the early estates to found in Western Australia. They grow their fruit organically, so you know, beautiful purity in some of the fruit they've got here. The region of Western Australia I thought I'd look at because you tend to get quite classic style Cabernet Sauvignons from there, and I wanted a really typical example of Cabernet to talk about today. Basically, Western Australia, we're in the Margaret River. We're about 4 hours drive south of Perth, and on the coast, and you've got the cold Indian Ocean at that stage, cooling what is actually quite a warm area with plenty of sunshine to make the growing of grapes such as Cabernet Sauvignon, which doesn't like to be too hot, possible. It leaves them with a lovely vibrancy there. So, to taste the wine, let's have a look at it there. Colour wise, this is a lovely deep colour. That's very typical of Cabernet Sauvignon. There's a slight purple hint to the end, but it's not a sort of an intense blue purple, and it holds its colour really well to the rim. There's a good intensity of this sort of ruby red to red black sort of colour. Smelling it, I'm getting exactly what I was hoping for there from a relatively cool climate region in Australia. You're getting sort of notes of mint. There's blackcurrant and blackcurrant leaf, so you've got the fruit but also that sort of leafiness coming in there, but sort of a crisp crunchy leafiness, and I think a hint of eucalypt as well, which would be typical for an area where there's a lot of eucalyptus growing. So to taste the wine, the Cabernet is slightly reined in. This I know from the notes that this has been aged in oak. It's probably spent sort of 16-17 months aging in oak, which is quite a long period, and half of that will be new French oak, and that's sort of taken off some of the vibrantly juicy notes of the blackcurrant, but it also complements the good tannic structure that you get very typically with Cabernet Sauvignon. And the third item you should think about is really lovely fresh acidity. Again, that sort of blackcurranty crispness coming through there, making the wine nice and crunchy. The acidity gives the wine a lovely long flavour. The wine has a lovely vibrancy to begin with and a very long finish, but it doesn't have a huge, rich mid palate, and that's very typical of Cabernet. Some people say it sort of has a hole in the middle. For that reason, I understand Voyager Estate put about 5 or 6% of Merlot in, although it doesn't actually say so on the label, but that just fills it out and rounds it out a little, and the wine is beautifully together. The oak is very well married to the fruit. The acidity gives it a lovely freshness, and the alcohol, the bottle says it's 14% alcohol, but the alcohol doesn't show as being hot because there's good structure and there's plentiful fruit. This is a really lovely example of a Cabernet Sauvignon. I think they had quite a relatively cool vintage in 2017 in Western Australia. So it's a wine to age, you know, perhaps for 10-15 years, but you know, starting to get very accessible now. So anyway, wherever you are, happy Cabernet Sauvignon Day. Thank you for watching, and that's Voyager Estate from Margaret River 2017. Bye now.